Wow. Here we are. No tie, no suit coat, just me. Been reading poetry today. Been doing some amusing. 2 years ago, Easter Sunday, my wife went to heaven after 60 years of marriage. And times sometimes are tough, and sometimes are easy. The gratitude I have for the wife that I had was that she put up with me through hell and high water for years. And then now, in 1972, we were married in 63. We went together for 3 years. I met her when she was 15. After 3 years, we married. She was 18. And we were married until, 60 years altogether with the 3 years, so 57 years. We birthed 6 children. We birthed 5 and adopted 1, so we had 6. We had a good life. Sometimes very, very tough. Sometimes very, very easy. Many times things come your way that you consider pain in your life. But the last pain you have before death is a good pain. Even though it is horrendously tough when you lose your kidneys and you get in that ferocious pain and you want to go home to be with the Lord. This body's not designed to take that kind of pain. And God opened the door for you to be willing to say, I'll come, Lord, I'll come, and go. Cancer is a terrible disease. It is a body-altering disease, and it's not pleasant. On the other hand, through the time that my wife had it, she was pleasant. Life is a precious gift, and she always treated it that way. A challenge to prove your worth, and she proved her worth through it all. To meet the challenger one day, the circumstances have to change. With intelligent devotion, and sometimes with a bloody head. It just happened to be that my wife had brain cancer. Realize that this old world we're living in is mighty hard to beat. You get a thorn with every rose, but ain't the roses sweet? This mortal life is pilgrimage. It's a test. You are secure, your mettle, and prove your worth, or you do not. You stand firm, or you sell out. Just for a handful of silver, he left us. Just for a ribbon and a pin on his coat. We must be careful. We do not leave those that we know to go to a higher class, considering that we are the same person when we left. We're the same person up there, and we'll regret one day for mere existence, for being born with grateful to see, to feel, to touch, to taste, to hear, exquisite blessing, to aspire or to expect the blessing indeed. The noblest attainment above life is love, unselfish and concerned life, which is charity at its best, giving and forgiving. Humble yourself, effortlessly. It is the facing acceptance during pain of denial, deceit, suffering, and bereavement. That gnawing pain as it approved friend to walk the journey to fulfillment. Self-realization in this time. We must forget ourselves in this time and attain to those who are suffering. The realization in this time, known or concealed, it is becoming aware of foolishness, of the dread of death. We don't have to dread death. We can dread pain, but we don't have to dread death. Accompanying the acknowledgement of the blessedness of this angel of mercy, which transforms us and transports us to that land of pure delight, where saints immortal reign. Thank God for life and for all her attendant acquirements. Thank God. And in the end, each sorrowing heart shall find no curse, but blessing in the hand of pain, even when he is smitten. When is God most kind? Thank God for pain. Pain is a mind changer at the end. It makes you say, okay, I'm ready, I'll go. Thank God for death, who touches anguished lips and stills their breath, and giveth peace into each troubled breast. Grief flies from thy touch. O blessed death, God's sweet gift, thy name in heaven rest. Thank God for death. Thank God for life. And though it bring much bitterness and strife, and all our fairness, hope we are wrecked and lost, and though there be more ill than good, in life we cling to life and reckon not the cost. Thank God for life. Thank God for love. For though sometimes grief follows, it is wake. Still we forget love's sorrow and love's joy, and cherish tears with smiles for love, dear sake. Only in heaven is blessed without alloy. Thank God for love. Thank God for pain. No tear hath ever yet been shed in vain. Wow. When you've lost somebody, mother, father, I lost my mother, I lost my father, I lost 3 brothers, a sister, and a wife in a very short period of time of about 7 years. I have one sister left. Her and I, we're close spiritually. We live far apart. I live in Georgia, she lives in Ohio. But we're going to the same heaven together one day, and we will live forever. Some say, will you know each other up there? That's not a question we can answer 100%. But we do know that if we follow God, He's going to do what's best for us when we get there. And that's all we need to know. We can rely on that. We will see you next time. Right. Bye-bye.